questions from the media join us virtually today. Keith, your line is now live.
Hey, Roger, it's Keith chilling from Sherdog. How you doing, man?
Doing all right, brother. How you doing?
Excellent. First question I want to ask you is, since your last fight, what would you say the biggest improvements you've made so we see the best Roger Huerta in the cage?
Well, I had a lot going on before my last fight, and even in that fight, you can kind of see I fought like an amateur. I definitely did not display any of my skills that I know that I possess, and I definitely ever since. I mean, I've been putting in a lot of work, so I'm ready to go. You'll see that this Friday night.
Excellent. What do you think about your opponent, Chris Gonzalez? He's a young prospect. He's undefeated. How do you feel you guys match up against each other?
I believe he's a good grappler. That's kind of what I've seen. I don't really see a lot of other danger really that he can possess. I mean, he does strike here and there, but other than that, I mean, I think he's still, up and coming. But he's facing a veteran, a guy who's seen a lot of things in this world and in this life and in this cage. So I'm definitely going to, display that and put him away.
My last question to you: you've fought all over the world and pretty much all the top organizations, Bellator, One Championship, UFC. What would you say you like best about Bellator compared to those other top organizations?
What I like best about Bellator, they're able to kind of understand the fighters, see what they're going through outside of the cage, and kind of let them deal with what they got to deal with. And I'm blessed that they've been patient with me. So thank you.
Nate.
Oh, yes, sir. Roger, how you doing?
Doing all right, yourself?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you. My question is just, we haven't seen you in the cage since November of 2019. I know you had some injury issues, but with a layoff like that, do you enjoy kind of, having more time to work on your game and coming off of a better performance, or do you just get anxious and you kind of want to be in the cage as much as possible?
Well, I was ready to get back in there, but then I ended up having another injury right before that fight that I had to pull out. And I'm usually not one to do so, but it was major. So I had to get surgery on my shoulder. I actually flew to Barcelona to go get it done, just because some of the doctors here in the States did not want to do it the way I kind of wanted to get it done. And I went out of pocket, went over there and got it done. So I'm here to play now.
Awesome, man. And then my next question is just, you're coming in as a plus 210 underdog. Do you kind of put any weight on those things, or with a veteran like yourself with all those credentials? Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Come on. Anybody that knows me, I'm one of the toughest persons in this world. Come on, let's go.
Donna.
Hey, Roger. The Bellator rankings were just announced. Do you think that a win here will get you back into contention to be in that top 10 lightweight ranking?
Man, I'm here after the belt. That's why I'm here. I'm still playing this game because I want to be a world champion. That is the only reason why I'm still playing this game. So if it puts me up there real quick, sure, why not? But I'm coming after these guys, man.
Is there sort of a new fire within you to get that done? You could conceive.
Fire, man. It's just one of those things that I've always had in me. It's just I got off my path as a competitor, as a fighter, and I'm here, man. I'm here doing.
You could conceivably fight maybe 3 times this year in Bellator, should you want to. It looks like
I'll be on call, man. After this fight, I'll be waiting by the phone. I'll be on call.
How many fights are you away from the title, do you think?
Up to Bellator, man. It's not up to me.
Thank you.
Tony.
Hi, Roger. Hope you're well.
Doing all right.
Just wanted to get your thoughts. Obviously, this is the first fight for you during the pandemic era. How has that played a part in any training in the lead up to this fight?
Man, we all have obstacles in life, and if you want something, you're going to find ways to get around and get what you want. So I pushed through it. I'm here now.
And just last question, just going into this fight, obviously, you're coming off of 3 back-to-back losses. Does that give you sort of more motivation to win this fight? How does it change your approach?
doesn't change nothing. So, like I said before, the last fight I wasn't all there. Even before that, I mean, I went head-to-head with Patricio. Sorry, this is the brother. Yeah, Patricio. And I mean, I almost put him away until when do you see that guy going for takedowns? So, come on.
James.
Hi, Roger. This is James from Strictly MMA. My one question for you is, do you have a prediction for how Roger Huerta gets it done this Friday night?
No, man, I can't tell the future, but I'm definitely coming after this guy.
Absolutely. And then my one other question, this is kind of from a fan perspective, but I grew up watching you fight, my brother as well. And I remember watching your Leonard Garcia fight, and that's still ranked as one of the best lightweight fights of all time. I mean, from your impressive career, where does that rank for you?
Well, a lot happened after that fight because we ended up getting on the cover of Sports Illustrated. So it was good for the sport. It was good for myself. It was good for many things, but it wasn't for a world title. So I can't say that it I'm going after a world title here.
Simon.
Hey, Roger. I just have one question for you today. Simon from Behind the Grind. Your last 3 outings have been against some of Bellator's toughest in the lightweight division. So what do you need to do in order to get back to your winning ways come Friday night?
I got to stay focused, man. Stay in my lane, stay focused, keep my eye on the prize, and that's to be a world champion.
Matthew.
How's it going, Roger? This is Matthew Putter from MyMMAnews.com.
How you doing, Mike?
Hey, my question is to you, what motivates you more, coming off a loss or coming off a win from a fighter's perspective?
At this point, life itself motivates me, man. There's a lot of uncertain things. There's a lot of uncertain things out there, and just being here, this is an opportunity for me and for all these guys. So I'm here to take full advantage of this opportunity.
That's all I got for you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
Max.
Hi, Roger. I'm Max from MMA Pit, and I got 2 questions for you. So you've been here for a while. You fought MMA royalty. You're in this 3-fight losing streak. Does it really affect you at this point of your career, or just another day at the office?
Just another day at the office, man. Gonna go have a cup of coffee.
And my other question is, we know you've got your tough times in Mexico. So what would you say to those people that are coming, maybe those difficult situations in their lives?
Can you say that again, please?
We know you had your tough times in the past in Mexico. So what would you say to those people that are maybe having those tough times in their lives, maybe?
Hang in there, man. Hang in there.
All right, we have time for a couple more here. Chris.
Hey, Roger. Chris Mancuso, tarpsoftsports.com. How are you, man? Quick question for you here. I just have one. When you're coming in to a fight like this versus Gonzalez, a guy who only has 5 professional fights, do you find it more difficult to game plan for a guy like this than opposed to the other veterans of the sport? Or is it just next man up mentality?
Next man up. That's pretty much it. I mean, this guy's come here to fight. I'm not here to wrestle. So as far as a fighter, I'm the best fighter here.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
Colin.
Hey, Roger. How we doing?
Doing all right yourself?
Good. Quick question. Is there any specific grappling focus in this training camp?
No, not necessarily, man. I come from a wrestling background. That's when I started this game. But I'm a full-time fighter, so I'm here to fight.
Last question for you. With Chris Gonzalez being only 5 fights in but undefeated, is there extra excitement there to give him his first loss?
Not at all. He's just in my way for what I'm going after. I don't see anything else. He's just in the way.
Last one here, Zach.
Hi, Roger. My name's Zach from MMA Ireland, and you fought all over the world. But if you had to fight in Rome in the Colosseum, gladiator style, what would your weapon of choice be and why?
I'm in it, man. I got him right here.
We'll take one last question here from Dylan Bowker. Dylan, go ahead.
Hey there, Roger. How's it going? I'm kind of wondering because your opponent coming up here has the, I guess, reference of training with Clay Guida, who obviously you had that legendary fight with years back. Like, what are your thoughts on that kind of dynamic, just in the sense of like these new guys you're facing and kind of drudges up almost these old dynamics from like over a decade ago? Like, how does that dynamic make you feel?
It's nothing, man. I saw Clay's last fight. He did well. Still the same old Clay. Not a lot of improvements, just he pressures in, good cardio, tough as nails. But I'm here to display some skills, man. I've been all over the world. I've seen a lot of things. And, I mean, it's nothing. A fight's a fight. Clay ain't going to be in there, not his teammates, not no one. No one's going to be in there, just him and myself. That's it. He is in there with me, no one else.
All right. Thanks for the time, Roger. Appreciate it.
Thank you. God bless all.
Up next, we have Roman Feraldo. All right. We are now being joined by Roman Feraldo. We'll begin with a few questions from the media. Keith Schillen, your line is now live.
Hey, Roman, Keith Schillen from Sure Dog. How you doing, man?
How you doing, Keith?
Excellent. So my first question I got to ask you, you had an incredible performance in your Bellator debut, but despite that, do you feel even more comfortable now that you're used to the routine of how things are done in Bellator?
Definitely, man. Now it just feels like you said, just routine. Walking back in, going through the checks, going through quarantine, it's definitely more familiar. And, even going to the back room, getting in the locker room, getting warm, cutting the weight. It's just another fight week.
Now, your opponent's 6'7". Have you ever faced anybody in any kind of athletic competition, combat related in the practice room, anything that kind of help you get prepared for someone like that?
Well, I feel like he's actually like 5'6" with a 2-foot head, but I'm blessed. American top team. We got a lot of superior athletes there. We got a lot of guys that are rangy, 6'5", 6'6", not quite 6'7", but I believe that are more athletic, more well-rounded, and that I've had the opportunity to train with. So I feel like I'm more than enough prepared for this opponent and opportunity.
Yeah, but you mentioned 6'7" guys. I mean, is it sparring with heavyweights? Is that what you have to do?
Not quite heavyweights, but a lot of middleweights, a lot of light heavyweights, big bodies getting used to it, so I don't think this guy has anything that I won't be prepared for.
As we mentioned, your last fight, you look spectacular, but obviously you still want to make improvements. What improvements can we see from that last fight to this one?
Just honestly, just a more well-rounded fighter in every aspect, I think you'll be able to see, a variety of my skills in this fight. I'm definitely going to mix it up, just work all my skills, be able to show all my techniques, and maybe not all of them, keep some secret for the next fight, but definitely show how I've improved, and definitely get another highlight reel knockout.
Jim?
Yeah, Jim Barcelona, Miami Herald. Thank you, Roman.
Thank
Curious how the training went for you. What has it been like? What is just the people you're working with? Did Jorge Masvidal get involved with this one at all with you, in relationship there with him, and just how all that went?
Well, camp's been amazing. I'm in, quoting my coaches, I'm in the best shape of my life right now. I've put in more rounds than I have in any other camp. Working with some of the best guys in the world. Bellator just let out their top roster, working with guys like Johnny Eblin, Austin Vanford, Dalton Rasta, my dude, the Sleek Sheik, Sabat. I got a lot of bodies. I got my dude Jocko over in the UFC middleweights. I got a lot of bodies that I've been working with. Good top wrestlers, good strikers, just well-versed mixed martial artists. Quoting on George. George is getting ready for his fight, so he's been more game planning for his, and working more towards the wrestling. So I haven't had the ability to work with him as much as I would like. But all in all, we have a game plan that we're gonna go and put forth on Friday, man. And I look forward to again just putting on another highlight reel and adding to the win column.
And lastly, for me, who is with you for this fight? Who will be in your corner for this one?
I got my cousin Juan Carlos Feraldo. He's been with me for the last 3 years, as my strength and conditioning coach, and as one of my my grappling coaches. And I got my man Mauricio, who is my jiu-jitsu coach that we work with, and helps me with just keeping my mind right. Anything I really need, he helps me with. So sad to say I didn't have the opportunity to bring my striking coach up there. He has, he's again, Paulino Hernandez, helping George get ready for his championship fight coming up on the 24th. So, which is, awesome. I'm really looking forward to being there for him, but I'm more than prepared, and my corner is definitely, I have, trust and belief in my corner that we'll get the job done.
Donna?
Hey, Roman. This guy obviously won pretty spectacularly last time out. What did you see in that fight that concerns you, and what do you see as flaws in his game?
I I see. Yeah, he had a good knockout. I seen the knockout more as a mistake on Gracie's part than Goody being more efficient than anything. Um, Goody's a long guy. He puts good pressure on guys, and you see his size. He tries to implement the size, and a lot of guys, it affects a lot of dudes. I think I'm a little different. Size really doesn't affect me. At the end of the day, I'm a dog. I got a big dog in me. I got a lot of fire in me, and at the end of the day, I'm gonna bring it, man. So if he's not prepared for a real war, then I don't see him. I don't see him making it out of the first round. I think him being the character he is, being the guy of his caliber, I see him making it out of the first round. But other than that, I'm gonna break him. I'm gonna break him, and I'm gonna finish him.
What do you think is going to happen when your friend Jorge Masvidal gets his rematch with the full camp against Kamaru Usman next month?
If I being totally honest, I think he's gonna same thing, man. In the first fight, I seen Kamaru, working a game plan that was very smart and tactical. Press him up against the cage, wear him out. The guy had 6 days notice, so he wasn't on a full camp. He fought that fight smart. Wore him down, got him tired, took away the one aspect of the fight that George would win, his striking and I just don't see it going the same way. I see George coming out and, being a lot more calm and assertive with his game plan, using his striking. His wrestling is top notch. People underestimate that about him. But I see George finishing the fight, man. I got George finishing the fight probably in the 3rd or 4th round.
James McDonough.
Hi, Roman. James here from Strictly MMA. Thanks for taking time to talk to us.
Of course, my man. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. So you got 4 wins now. You got 4 knockouts. You had 3 knockouts in your amateur career. Is that the game plan, man? Go in here, shut some more lights off this weekend?
Always. That's always the game plan. My game plan is always to finish. I haven't had the opportunity to submit anybody yet. Always the game plan is always to finish. I go out there to finish fights. I do not like leaving it in the judge's hands. I like to say my greatest weapons are my hands. So if I can implement them, I'm going to. But definitely not in a rush, man. I look forward to going out here, taking my time, really working, using the cage, working my setups and my techniques, breaking this guy down, really, really showcasing my skills. And when the finish presents itself, then I'll take it.
Awesome. And last thing for me is just this card should be doing pretty good reviews. A lot of people watching. If you're talking to your fans right now, why should they be tuning in and watching Roman fight this weekend?
You should be tuning in to watch spectacular violence and, beautiful brutality. You're going to watch a guy get in there with me and watch him submit to his superior. It's going to be a spectacular event. And beyond me, you also have Pitbull versus Sanchez. That's going to be a great fight as well. I'm looking forward to watching that. And but yeah, definitely for my fans, I'm adding another highlight reel to the roll.
Tony.
Hi, Roman. Hope you're well.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good, thanks. There's a lot of headlines coming into this fight about you being the protege of Jorge Masvidal. Obviously, given the similarities with the flying knee knockout, do you take that as sort of additional pressure, or is that the biggest compliment to you?
I take it fully as a compliment. Again, just bringing it back to Paulino, I got to give all the props to our striking coach, Paulino Hernandez. Without him, nothing on George. I don't think George would be where he is, and without Paulino, I wouldn't be where I am. So, given the props, if the props go to anybody, it goes to Paulino. And just hearing that, the knee is spectacular, knee knockout. It's like George's. It's flattering, and it just means that I'm doing my job right. So.
And obviously the last few fights have gone extremely well. Have you actually had the time in a real fight scenario to actually learn, or is there things that you've critiqued out of your performances?
Definitely. I mean, I'm my biggest critic when it comes to watching my fights, rewatching. I watch my fights as if I was my opponent. What things would I be looking for? What can I expose on myself? where are the holes in my game. And, just because I win doesn't mean that there's not something I can improve on there. And definitely in the fights, you're always looking to, you can study a guy as much as you want, but a guy's never the same dude from one fight to another. So I go into every fight, with an open mind, willing to adapt. We have a game plan, but you have to have the ability to adapt and be willing to step into the fire. And that's the great thing about the fight game, man. It really can be a flip of a coin.
Santiago.
Hi, Roman. Greetings from Amsterdam, and thank you for the time, brother.
My man, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much. In your last fight, you really put a beating on your opponent, and you ended it with a beautiful knee in the second round. Is that something that you and also Jorge Masvidal train a lot on, to end fights in a spectacular fashion?
Well, I mean, if you listen to any of George's recent interviews, his mindset changed a couple years ago after his trips to I think it was the Dominican Republic. And, he had a mindset where he's just going to finish guys. And, that's always been my game plan. Go out there and finish the fight, man. I don't want somebody to watch the fight and have a different perspective than me and think that I lost the fight because they seen something or they watched it from a different angle. I'm going out there to finish the fight. So there's no, debate. And, that's always been my game plan. I go out there, and on top of it too, I go out there to put on a show, man. I don't want to leave it to the judges. I don't want you to leave watching the fight saying, "Damn, I wish there would have been more action," or, he could have fought better, could have did this. I'm going out there to finish, put on a show, and again, showcase my skills.
Austin Vandervoort, Cody Locke, Johnny Eblen, yourself. Some special things are happening at ATT. That gym is making big time noise in the world of combat sports. How important is the ATT team for you and for your preparation to a fight?
Huge, man. It's drastic. I've been there now for 6 months, and it has been tremendous in my career. I've seen tremendous growth in all aspects of my game, and a big part also, not only have I seen growth, but it has given me a tremendous amount of reassurance in my own abilities and my skills. So, and like you said, ATT right now is on the map. ATT's been on the map for years. They've been top school in the world for the last decade. But I think, in this past year, we've seen a camaraderie come together. Everybody's working with everybody. Everybody's trying to grow, and no secrets. Everybody's just open, man, and it's been tremendous for me, and it's been tremendous for my career and my skills and my ability. And yeah, man, it's awesome. I love doing what I do, and it's amazing when you get to go to a place like that. That's my job, that's my place of business, that's my place of work, and you want to be there, and I want to be there every day. It's surreal.
We have time for a couple more here. Simon
Romero behind the grind. Mr. Roman Feraldo, how are you today, my friends?
I'm feeling like $1 million, bro. I'm feeling like a champ, ready to go.
Awesome. That's what I'd like to hear. So you are on a 10-fight win streak since your amateur days. What have you done in training specifically to keep that streak alive?
Staying humble, man. Always looking to improve. There's never a time where I'm complacent in my abilities. Always looking to improve, always willing to get better, trying to be the best guy in the gym. My dude Dalton Rasta, he gave me some advice. He's like, you want to be the best in the world, you got to start at the gym. You got to be the best in the gym. So looking to be the best in the gym, always pushing myself, always trying to grab information, work with the guys that I see are doing it at the top of the game, like George. I was blessed for this camp to be able to work with Mike Brown a lot more than usual, just trying to pick these guys' minds, and they have countless years in the game, and it's like it's surreal. And I've seen tremendous improvement in my game. Just staying humble and always trying to improve. Never being content. Never settling where I'm at with my abilities. So,
my second question for you is, what do you do to keep that beard looking so fresh and so clean?
I think it's just genetics, man. I'm blessed. Super blessed. Last time I got to rock the stash a little bit, I had to put on for the fam. My papa Ralph, he used to rock the pinner, so a little tributes to him. But letting the beard grow out, stay strong. I trimmed a little too much for this fight. I wanted to be a little thicker, get that Viking look, but I think it'll be it's nice and full right now. So I think it'll look good after I knock this dude out.
Chris.
Hey, Roman, Chris from tarpsoftsports.com. I got to say, as a beard guy, man, you're looking fresh as hell. You look ready to go. I want to ask, though, Bellator has the ranking system now. You've got one fight under your belt. I know the fight itself is something that is incentive for you to get up and do it, but it's a camaraderie business as well, right? Are you motivated by getting your name into the rankings?
Definitely, it's really cool to see your name up there when it is up there, but that's not my main objective. My ultimate goal is to become a world champion. I obviously realize you got to go through there. You got to slowly work your way up. So I look forward to seeing my name on the top 10 list and then working its way down the numbers, up until I'm number one contender and to where inevitably I'm world champion. And so it's definitely something to look forward to and strive to get on. It's pretty cool when you see your name in the top of the world with the best in the world.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And the last thing I have for you here, we talked about George, we talked about American Top Team. We've all seen the craziness that is the Jake Paul and Ben Askren. Are you sitting on the same side of the fence as George? Are you taking Jake Paul? I mean, come on here. I know you guys are buddies, but level would be here.
Nothing for nothing. I think it's that's a spectacle that people want to watch it. People like to see the show. Inevitably, I really don't have too much to say about it. The guys I'm not too big on all the the talking, running the mouth. I say what I'm gonna do and then I go and do it. I feel like Jake's gonna go out there, and I think my personal opinion, Jake's a better boxer than Ben. I think Jake will put the hands on Ben, but that's my opinion on it. I think Jake just needs to calm it down a little bit, go do his job and call it a day. But again, that's the show, man. It's show. People want to see it, and that's it.
Last one here, Colin.
Roman, Colin's MMA World. How we doing?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Good. 10 fight win streak. I know you're not looking past your next opponent, but what's next for you? Do you see anything down the road? Do you see big fights?
Definitely.
Maybe a different promotion?
So in all honesty, man, I love Bellator. These two fights, they've treated me tremendously. Everything has gone smooth. I haven't had to, if they needed something, they've contacted me. It's been different for me with other promotions. It's, so I'm loving it here, man. After this fight, I have 2 more fights on my contract. So right now, obviously my concern is Friday. After that, we'll look to the future, but definitely looking to finish out my contract with Bellator. Again, too, I'm loving it here, and we'll see what the future holds, man. I plan on finishing my contract 7-0, 7 KOs. So we know when the renegotiation comes by, we'll be looking for some bigger fights and some bigger paydays.
Great. Thanks for the time, Roman. Good luck on Friday.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys, man.
Next up is Mandel Nallo. We are now being joined by Mandel Nallo. We'll begin with a few questions from the media. Keith Schillen, your line is now live.
Hey, Mandel, it's Keith Schillen from Sherdog. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you doing, Keith?
Excellent. Thanks for asking. My first question is, your last fight was a no contest against Saeed Awad. Was he offered to you in a fight?
No, that fight never came back. But I know there was a bit of talk about it in the week following that fight. But I don't know. The buzz kind of died down, and it doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
You don't know really what happened with that?
No, I guess like scheduling and whatever just didn't work out.
Yeah, fair enough. You originally were supposed to face Keone. Now you're facing Ricardo. What was the biggest change in opponent? Like anything you had to prepare differently?
Yeah, like one guy was a lefty, one guy's a righty. So there's a big difference there. But outside of that, training for a fight is training for a fight. You gotta, spar, condition, roll. It's all pretty much the same.
My last question to you. I watched your last interview after your last fight. You said you just want to make big improvements between fights. So that said, what is going to be the big improvements that we see?
Yeah, just an overall technical level up. If you're treating your career or life like an RPG, let's just say, I got a bunch of experience and I'm leveled up.
Max?
Hi, I'm Max Morales from MMA Pit. And, you in your own words, you said that fight before Sawad's fight, so something crazy happened now in this Sawad's fight, that no contest. So are you looking forward to change that page on fight day, or that page was changed at the first day of fight camp?
No, I think what sticks out in people's minds is your most recent fight, because people who watch fights don't see training. So yeah, of course I would like to remedy that taste in people's mouth of me having weird fights.
Matthew?
Hey, how's it going, Mandel? This is Matthew Putterman from My MMA News. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Hey, doing well, man. Hey, my first question I have for you is, like, why should we believe that you're the next big thing in MMA today, from MMA reporters' standpoint?
I mean, you don't have to. But, just watch me fight, I guess. Like, it doesn't really matter. There's prospects that play out, and then there's prospects that don't work out. So I guess I'm one of those guys that's still a question mark. In my eyes, I believe in myself, and that's all I really care about. So you don't have to if you don't want to.
That's all I got for you, brother. Thank you.
Jack?
Hi, this is Jack Wana from Knockdown News. After your quick low blow fight, was it important to you to get back in the cage, very quickly, because you usually have that pace of, one fight a year?
The one fight a year is not by design. It just ends up happening. But so it wasn't necessarily the fact that the fight was so strange that made me get back in here quicker. It just worked out finally.
Harry?
Hey, Mandel, Harry Mack from the Bookie's Basement. I hope all is well.
I hope all is well with you as well, Harry.
Thank you. So I just wanted to ask, on Tapology, your official nickname is listed as Rat Garbage. So I just wanted to know, where does that come from?
It's a long story, but the short story is it's my Instagram handle. Check it out.
Fair enough. Well, thank you very much, Mandel. Best of luck.
No problem. Thanks.
James?
This is James from Strictly MMA. And I know people keep bringing up your activity. It seems to be a constant thing at the press conferences, but this is the second time we're seeing you in just about 6 months. Is it safe to say 2021 could be the year of Mandel Nallo?
This is the one. I don't know. I mean, that's the plan, and let's hope everything keeps going well.
Absolutely. And then your opponent, Ricardo, he seems to have the ability to finish it, whether it's standing or it's on the ground. You also have the ability to finish it, whether it's standing or on the ground. But looking at him, watching his past fights and getting ready for him on the short notice, is there a particular situation where you want to keep this fight?
No, not really. I think if you're a fighter, you kind of expect it to happen everywhere. Obviously, there's like a loose game plan. So, but it doesn't really matter where stuff. You just look out for what the other guy's good at and fight your fight.
Nate?
Yes, sir. I would like to piggyback off of the rat garbage question. We haven't seen a post on the rat garbage Instagram since May of 2020. Have you still been creating artwork, and when can we expect rat garbage's return?
I have been creating artwork. I just haven't been posting it. I don't know why. Maybe I'll release an NFT or something. I've got some merch, but I don't sell it. So I'm still making stuff. I don't know why I stopped posting. I got bored or something.
Thank you, sir.
Donna?
Hey, Mandel, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay. Talk to me about the lack of fans and how that impacts your performance. And to keep it all within the one question, do you think that Bellator should start now with the states opening up and with the bubble as secure as it is, maybe starting to let a few fans back?
Yeah. As far as the second part of the question, I don't really know. That's their business. And the first part of the question, it really does. As far as the fight itself, doesn't matter at all. But I'll say, like, post-fight, having your friends there is pretty cool. So that's the one thing that it changes.
How do you find life in the bubble?
It's boring. But I don't know. It's not that bad.
Thank you, mate.
No problem.
Simon?
Simon Romero, Behind the Grind. Mr. Mandel Nallo, how are you today, my friend?
Good. Thank you, Simon.
So I have two for you here. I just want to know, how impactful has Coach Faraz Zahabi been throughout your career?
Yeah, huge impact. I mean, as far as MMA coaches go, he's coach and fighter, you need to have a good synergy. And as far as I'm concerned, we're a great fit together. And he's really kind of opened my eyes to the way you should think about fighting. And he's a huge impact. Been with him forever.
And my second question for you would be, I know he's a short notice replacement, but what is something you've seen in Ricardo's fights that excites you for Friday night?
Just the fact that he's a guy that doesn't really like decisions. So he's a guy that's going to try to make something happen, which is always fun.
Chris?
Hey, Mandel, Canadian myself, Chris Mancuso, Tarps Off Sports. Being a Canadian, most of the other people wouldn't understand this, but there's an added pressure that comes with being an athlete from Canada, because if you have even a small amount of success, everybody hops on the bandwagon and you become a global, a national star. Do you feel that pressure a bit more back home, or are you settling into life over in the States?
I still live in Canada. I think I'm much too small to feel any kind of national athlete pressure right now. If I was Rory, that's a question for Rory. For me, it's all the same. I'm just a guy.
Thanks, buddy.
Jonah?
Hey, Mandel, how you doing? Jonah here from Behind the Grind.
Howdy. How are you?
I just want to ask how your experience, even though you only have 8 fights on your professional career, you've been doing this for such a long time. How do you think that plays a factor against a guy like Ricardo?
Yeah, time in, like, I don't know if that 10,000 hours thing is true or not. People shout it around a lot, but experience pays off. And in MMA, that's no different. So I think it's huge having time in with good guys.
That's all for me. Thank you, Mandel.
No problem.
Rick Sanchez?
Hey, Mandel, this is from Radici. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
I just want to talk about the fight. Sorry about that. I just want to talk about the past fight. Did you receive any backlash or criticism from? No, and
from like fans or media or anything?
Yeah.
No, I really didn't. But maybe I did, but I kind of go radio silent and stay away from all that stuff in the weeks following a fight. So maybe people were talking a bunch of trash about me, but I didn't hear it.
And just the second part, like what you learned from Live and Learn from the past fight.
that fight, I just, learn to keep my knees up. It's hard to really say. It was so short, and it was such a freak accident that, you just kind of learned that. I learned kind of what I already knew. It reaffirmed what I already knew about fighting, which is anything can happen on the day. You just count your blessings. If you're not injured, and you can get back in there and do it again.
Take a couple more here. Ronald.
Thank you. This is Ronald Smith from Getting Real. Mandel, how you doing, brother?
Good. How are you?
Doing as well as I can. And for you, man, 2020 has been such a hard year for so many people, but also so eye-opening. So for yourself, what did you learn for you during everything that went down during that year?
In 2020, still 2021 is also crazy, but yeah, you just have to understand what type of things you really value, right? That was the main thing. I think everybody kind of came upon that same epiphany in 2020. Is just like you there are things that you can let go, and there are things you really value, and it really kind of narrowed in on what actually keeps me going in life. I don't know if that's any good. I don't know.
No, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. And the last question I got for you, just what you said about what values for you and through yourself, through your career, when it's all said and done, what do you hope for yourself to look back on to say, I'm proud of what I've done in my life?
Yeah, the ultimate goal is to be considered one of the best fighters to have done it. There's a lot of work to be done, but that, like, as far as a career goes, that's it. That would be the ultimate goal.
Last question here.
Question. Hi, Adrian Mešar from Slovak Svet MMA. Actually, last week, Slovak fighter Michal Mokry told us that while he trained in Canada, 3-star, that you were the fighter who made the biggest impression on him. He said that you have great striking, also you think really well during sparrings, and also you hit really hard and have a great eye. How do you feel when you hear those words from another professional fighter?
Yeah, it's always nice to hear. I'm sorry, I missed the name of the guy you were saying.
Michal Manning Mokry.
Mike, yeah. So Mike is amazing. He was with us at TriStar for a good long time. I know he just fought. I think he lost a decision last week.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always nice training, having your training partners speak highly of you. And, the gym dynamic is very important. And so I'm glad that he likes me. I like him too.
All right. Thank you very much for the time, Mandel. Good luck the rest of the week.
Cool. Thank you very much, guys.
All right. We are now being joined by Tyrell Fortune. Once again, we'll begin with a few questions from the media. Keith Schillen, your line is now live.
Hey, Tyrell, it's Keith Schilling from Sherdog. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm excellent. Thanks for asking. First thing I got to ask you, you were supposed to face Matt Mitrione. Instead, you got Jack May. That's a guy that you have a little bit of history with. How satisfying is it to face Jack May and you can kind of close that chapter out?
I was looking forward to Matt. Obviously, it's a bigger name, bigger opponent. But being able to get this one, run this one back is a very satisfying for me.
Now, is the plan to, get this one over quickly and then face Matt next? Is that the plan?
I'm not the matchmaker, so I don't really that's not really my job. I just fight whoever they ask me to. But I honestly, looking at the rankings now, no, I don't want to fight Matt.
Okay. Last question, because I know we got other people on. Do you still follow the sport of wrestling on any wrestling? I'm talking about, the NCAAs, the Olympics, all that.
Yes, I do. I'm actually flying straight from here to Texas to watch the finals.
Oh, excellent. The reason why I asked you that, so that's perfect because you're going to be in the arena. I think about a guy like Gabriel Stevenson, who I'm sure he's talking about when he's done wrestling, going to WWF. That was a very similar situation that you were in. How do you convince a guy like him or just any of these wrestlers who might be ending their careers this weekend to jump over to MMA instead?
I mean, I think it's all about your personality and what you're looking forward to. Obviously, if he wants to go to WWE, then he's looking at more of acting, not really trying to get in too much violence. You know what I mean? That might not just be his cup of tea to get punched in the face. So I think it's just all about how you look at the sport and really just the physical activity you want to put into it. That's WWE's acting, essentially. You know what I mean? You work out. It's a hard workout. I'm not taking anything away from those guys. They do train their asses off, but it's not the same thing as this. You know what I mean?
Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Simon
Merrill, Behind the Grind. Mr. Tower of Fortune, how are you today, my friend?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. So I have two questions for you here. You and your brother are both ranked in your respective divisions. What were the emotions of you both being ranked?
I mean, it's very satisfying for a little bit. You know what I mean? It's just like the beginning of, where you want to start off at with your brother, just being ranked in the top 10, but it's not the final goal, So it's just a little bit more motivating to keep pushing and get to the top.
So when we spoke a little while ago, you said you wanted to be just outside the top 10. I guess, were you happy where you were in your ranking?
I guess really too, when we spoke, I hadn't really looked at the roster too much. So I didn't really put into account like where everybody was at. So now looking at it makes a lot of sense where I'm at. But yeah, I'd say I'm fine with where I was ranked.
And this last one I have for you here, how do you match up with the heavyweights above you in the rankings?
I think I can dominate every single one of them.
Chris?
Hey, Tyrell. Chris Mancuso, Tarps Off Sports. I have a question here. I know you're not the matchmaker, but you look at the guys ahead of you and other fighters in the heavyweight division. Czech Congo, Fado. Any other guys? Like, what guys like that interest you the most here coming forward?
Valentin Modovsky.
Modovsky? Okay. That's everything, my man. Have a good one and best of luck.
Thank you. You too.
Tony?
Tyrell, hope you're well.
Can't understand you.
Had a couple of releases from another promotion, most recently Junior Dos Santos and Alistair Overeem. Would you like to match up with either of those guys?
I can't understand them.
Could you repeat that question, Tony?
Yeah, sorry. I was just saying, we've recently seen Junior Dos Santos and Alistair Overeem leave the UFC. And I read in a recent article you'd shown some interest in fighting either of those guys. Is there a preference as to who you'd rather fight out of both of them?
Out of those two, I'd rather pick a Junior Dos Santos. I think he has a bigger name. I think his stand-up is a little bit more resounding than Alistair Overeem, and it looks like he has a little bit more in the tank than what Alistair's been showing in his last few fights. But either one of them would be an honor to step in the cage with.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Donna?
Hey, Tyrell. When you saw that the champion of your division had gone off to pursue a tournament in a separate weight class, did that piss you off at all? That he could potentially be out of action for, I mean, we've seen how long this featherweight tournament's gone on. It could be a year and a half, 2 years.
No, doesn't bother me at all. That got nothing to do with me. That's his career choice.
Do you believe that when he comes back, you will have done enough to maybe be in contention to fight for that heavyweight title?
100%.
All right. Thank you very much.
James McDonough.
Hi, Tyrell. This is James from Strictly MMA. Just have one question for you. You've already been in the cage with Jack May, so you've gotten a feel for it. The fight was looking like it was going your way the first time. Now with that experience, do you have a prediction, like a vision of how you see this fight playing out on Friday night?
Violently. That's really about it. I mean, this guy, he had been starting to talk shit to me since my last fight when I fought Saeed Soma. And so he was just trying to get back in the cage with me for a while, I guess. And so no, I mean, he's actually motivated me to fight him. So I can say I'm looking forward to getting in the cage again with him.
Steven.
Hey, Tyrell. So you said that you looked at the rankings and your feelings about rebooking that fight with Mitrione changed. Well, I guess, were you surprised when, they came out and you were 2 spots ahead of them?
No, not really. I wasn't surprised. I just, I don't know what the people are taking into account when they're doing these rankings. And I think I'm a lot harder judge on myself than most people are. So for me, it was just, I guess I was just being a harder judge on myself than most people are. So I just wanted to, I guess, try to be more realistic with it after I started to look at the roster and look where everybody was placed. It started to make more sense.
I mean, I know you're a slightly biased source, but would you put yourself at number 6?
Yeah, I think number 6 is a good spot. I mean, I haven't been the guys that are in front of me. I haven't fought yet, most of them. So the only guy I have fought was Tim Johnson. I lost, so it makes sense for me to at least be behind him. And everybody else is that's in front of me has been doing really well. And so no, I think it makes sense to put me where I'm at.
From watching your career and from what you've said in the past, it seems like getting ranked opposition has been part of the big problem for your career, no?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, like getting those big name fights is going to get you to the next level in your career. Would you agree that that's been an issue?
Yes, 100%. And
so
it does put it in a better perspective, and it does give me a clear sight of who I want to fight next and who to target after.
So if it's not Mitrione and you beat if you win on Friday, who would you like to fight?
Valentin Moldavsky.
And why him in particular?
He's number 3, so he's in front of me. So he takes me one step closer to getting to the belt.
Do you like the style matchup?
100%. I think I'm a good style matchup against anybody in front of me.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Nate.
Yes, sir. I've seen that you've recently gotten back into snowboarding, and you said how important it is to have other hobbies to keep your mind off of fighting. And I was just curious how that has helped your mentality going into this fight.
Man, it was just some time to release and get away and, not be so absorbed in the sport. I think you lose sight of, life itself when you constantly fighting, constantly training, and you don't really give yourself time for anything else. And it's just hard, when you're training all the time, you're worried about getting injured from doing anything. So when you have that time off, you can go have some fun. It's nice to just give your mind and body a break.
Awesome. And then I was also on your Instagram and I saw the Kobe tribute tattoo that you have.
Yes, sir.
And I was just wondering if you could maybe explain how the Mamba mentality has influenced you, not only in your MMA career, but just in life overall, and how big of an impact he had on you.
I mean, Kobe was probably one of the hardest workers we know in my generation. So I think just that mentality of just always willing to put that extra work in and never making excuses to get up and get it done is always pushed me just growing up as a kid. I always wanted to be the best at whatever I'd done, whether it was tic-tac-toe, hopscotch, rock, paper, scissors. I wanted to be the best. So I think that mentality just carries you and pushes you continuously to just always strive to be better.
All right, we'll take 1 or 2 more here. Jonah?
Hey, Tyrell. Jonah Ross here from Behind the Grind. We've seen lately fighters, mainly wrestlers, that fall in love with throwing their hands rather than, relying on the game plan that got them there. What are your thoughts on guys that do this and, fall short?
I mean, you got to be willing to take a risk. I mean, this isn't wrestling anymore. So you got to be well-rounded. Eventually, you're going to find somebody who's going to be able to stuff, touch, takedowns, and wrestle just like you. So what are you going to do when that happens, when you can't get a takedown? You're going to have to fight. And if you haven't developed the skills and you aren't confident in your hands, then it's not going to be a good night for you. So I think every wrestler should take that chance and risk to get their hands better and focus on the boxing, because I've been wrestling since I was in the 3rd grade. I think it would be hard for anybody to really out wrestle me in the sport of MMA, because no one has the accolades I do in wrestling in the sport. So for me, it's just more of being more of a well-rounded MMA fighter. This isn't wrestling anymore. You gotta learn how to fight.
Last one, Ronald.
Errol, man, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Man, I can't complain. And man, you've been in Bellator since in 2016 through your growth, and now you look now in 2021. If you could look back at that Tyrell back then, what could you say has changed from that moment?
The knowledge that I've obtained and the experience. I mean, the things that I've went through just through these last 4 years have been really good.
Next up, we have Jason Jackson. We are now being joined by Jason Jackson. Begin with a few questions from the media. Keith Schillen, your line is now live.
Hey, Jason, it's Keith Schillen from Sherdog. How you doing, man?
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. You don't have to call me sir. I appreciate that, though. I was looking at your record. You're 10-2 over your last 12. One was an injury. The other one was that split decision loss to Ed Ruth that many people thought you should have won. That said, the rankings just came out. You're 6th. Do you feel like you're being overlooked in the division despite this incredible record you have right now?
Yes. I didn't, like I said, I felt like I haven't lost to me personally, I haven't lost to Ed Ruth. I haven't lost since I came Bellator. But the ranking kind of confused me. I'm confused myself by the rankings, because at first Bellator put up a ranking said 1 to 5, and I was in a picture, so I didn't understand how I end up in 6. So, you know, I just got to fight. I get a chance, a big opportunity to fight number 3 guys, which I consider number 1. And once I beat them, then there's no more question.
Now, you just mentioned, you know, you both are highly ranked. Are you looking at this as a number 1 contender match? Like, if you win, is the title the next shot?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if, like I said in the get-go, if Bellator doesn't feel that way, or anyone of the welterweight that feels like they're not the champ and they disagree, then we'll go fight for that position.
I got 2 last questions. Neiman did an interview earlier this week, and he was saying that he wanted Michael Page end up with you. It seemed like that was the fight he wanted. Do you think he's looking past you?
Well, no, because Michael Page would be an easier fight than me, because I could grapple. What are you talking about? You're a smart guy.
Last one, speaking about that, how do you feel like your grappling matches up with, you know, a Gracie?
The same way how his striking matched up with mine.
Good luck to you, sir.
Yes, thank you.
Tony?
Hi, Jason. Good afternoon. Obviously, your last fight against Benson Henderson, how did it feel to beat such a big name as Benson Henderson has been in the sport of mixed martial arts?
It feels good, but if it would have felt a lot better if I would have beat him at an earlier time. And, you know, Ben Henderson, he came out and, you know, he came and gave it his all, even though he took that fight on short notice. But I felt like I could have finished him. I made a lot of mistakes that I needed to see and go back to the drawing board and work.
And obviously you're coming off of the back of 3 back-to-back wins. You know, just from a confidence perspective, does that put you in a different headspace going into this fight now?
It's 4 back-to-back. Don't forget the Ed Roof. It's 4
Sorry.
back-to-back. And yeah, well, to me, I don't feel no worry. Because I'm so prepared. You know, I have a very good preparation for this camp. better than any other camp that I had so far in Bellator. So all my words are into my camp and, go out there and smash.
Jim?
Jim Varsalo, Miami Herald, thank you. Talk a little bit more about that camp and what made that camp so much better, or you working better in the camp. Just what was it all about?
Because last year during the quarantine, it was very hard to get work and consistent work. It was just here and there. But during 21st, I get, everything's kind of open up and lifting. I got more time to go to the hills, the beach, meet all my coaches, meet up in a more group and get better session.
Where does that get you in the next step?
I'm the guy to keep my eye on. I mean, I'm the guy that Bellator have to keep their eye on in this division. I'm going to be the next welterweight champion this year.
And lastly, after you get your victory, will you be celebrating by going to WrestleMania in Tampa?
Well, if they're allowing crowd and I get my hands on some tickets, then why not? I would love to take the family there and go celebrate. Win, lose, or draw. Still, I would love to go for the first time experience WrestleMania.
James?
James here from Strictly MMA. Just a couple questions for you, Jason. You just beat a big name in Benson Henderson. I know you said you would have liked it to be, earlier, but it's still a big name, a former UFC lightweight champ. Now taking on Neiman Gracie, Gracie being so symbolic in the sport of mixed martial arts. I mean, what does it mean to you to be fighting a Gracie member?
This right here, fighting Gracie would be good because its only loss in Bellator is to a former champ. And I want to be the guy to also put a Gracie on under my name the same way Rory McDonald beat him and, say he's the guy to beat. I want to be the guy to finish him. First guy to finish Grayson.
Absolutely. And then this one, I might be late to the party with this one, but can you just tell me where the nickname came from, the ass kicking machine? I mean, who gave it to you? Was it you? Was it someone else?
I got it from, I did it myself. Was my first amateur fight or it was my third amateur fight. I introduced the ass kicking machine and the whole crowd started laughing and they were just dying. And then once I finished the fight, it was like, yes, this guy's a machine. He's an ass kicking machine for real. But it kind of came along watching a lot of WWE.
Santiago?
Hi, Jason. Greetings from Amsterdam, and thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Henry Hooft was a guest on the famous Weighing In podcast hosted by Josh Thompson and Big John McCarthy. He said on that podcast that you are the sunshine of Sanford MMA with your good vibes and your beautiful music in the morning. Can you feel that in the gym as well, that people really appreciate your contribution to the team?
Well, I'm always told, but I just said if I could get everybody on the same wavelength, then it will be good as that I'm on. So one person alone can't bring that energy. You need everybody to be on the same page. So it's better that way and easier.
Last one for me, Jason. How special is it to train under Dutch world-class trainer Henry Hooft, and what did he do to make you a better fighter?
It was the missing piece to my puzzle. I knew how to do a little Muay Thai. I knew how to box. I knew how to do wrestling, but the kickboxing, everything put together, once I met Henry, he showed me how to stay there, stand your ground, and fight like a man. And I adapt that into my style for the movement and everything. So it kind of completes me.
Nate?
So last night, an interview came out on MMA Junkie with your opponent, Gracie. When talking about your skills, he said he thinks you are good at striking, but not that good, not that dangerous. What do you make of his analysis of your skills?
Well, same way I feel. I feel like he's really good at jiu-jitsu, but I don't feel like not that dangerous because I got my hands. We're not doing jiu-jitsu. Got these right here. You have to think about these.
Yes, sir. And can we hear, you also said that Showtime is a boxing network. People want to see a fight, especially with a guy that throws hands like me. What can the people expect this weekend?
They have to expect some firework, and I'm going to knock Gracie out. You don't think my hands are dangerous? Watch. You don't got no stand-up.
Dylan?
Hey there, Jason. How's it going?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, I appreciate you making some time. I think a lot has been made in this, scrum about your time in, Florida and Sanford MMA, but, born in Kingston, Jamaica, I'm kind of curious your thoughts on just, the domestic growth of mixed martial arts there. Because it seems like MMA Jamaica Sports Federation is making big strides in regulating and promoting the sport. So can you speak about the grassroots MMA scene in Jamaica?
Yes, definitely need a bit more developing. They need good wrestling program and good kickboxing program, stuff like that. Boxing, world-class coaches. That's all I feel like the Jamaican Federation is missing. You got all the ethic and all the talents just waiting.
Yeah, fair point. Thanks for the time, man.
Thank you.
Chris?
Hey, Ass Kicking Machine. It's Chris from tarpsoffsports.com. And I just, good talking to you, man. It's great to see you. Now, I know you came into the promotion, I believe, in 20. What is the difference between the Jason Jackson now as opposed to the Jason Jackson then? And then I just have one more for you after that.
Then when in 2018, I was trying to get back on my feet because I broke my leg in 2018, was it? And came back and fought it in 2018 or 2017, one year I broke my leg and had to get my confidence, go out there and fight. And I didn't get re-signed. I came back, went work again, local team, and get re-signed to Bellator. And I'm here, and I just realized, like, yes, it's my time. It's my time. I just have to go. Don't second guess it. Go, because everything's already written in the script.
Incredible. And last question for you. You brought up WrestleMania. If the Ass Kicking Machine could headline WrestleMania against one wrestler, past or present, who would it be?
Undertaker.
Matthew?
How's it going, Jason? This is Matthew Putterman from MMA News.
How you doing, Matthew?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thank you. Hey, so my first question is to you. Where do you see yourself here in the next 5 years?
Next 5 years?
Career? Yeah.
Wow. Next 5 years, whooping ass, cashing check, and taking names.
One more question for you too, brother. If you win this fight, of course, you are ranked 6th in the welterweight division currently, fighting the number 3 guy. I think a great fight between you and Michael Venom Page would be great. Your striking has grown exponentially since working with Henry Hooft, and Michael Venom Page is one of the best strikers in the division too. How would you stylistically match up with him, and how would you like that fight to be next?
That fight will be awesome because Michael Venom Page, he have an athletic fiber explosive muscle the same way I do. It's like two mongoose going against another mongoose, but one mongoose know how to grapple.
We'll take a couple more here. Simon?
Simon Romero, Behind the Grind. Mr. Jason Jackson, how are you today, my friend?
I'm doing awesome.
Awesome. So I like to hear. So you're representing Jamaica. How does it feel representing your own country on the world stage?
Well, no matter what I do, I'm going to represent my country because, Jamaican people are prideful and proud set of people. So.
And my second question for you would be, what steps do you need to take in order to bring home the W on Friday night?
Keep the fight standing and put my hands on this guy.
All right, last one here. Jonah?
Hey, Jason. Jonah Rawls here from Behind the Grind. I'm wondering how the guys and ladies at Sanford MMA are able to help you kind of negate the grappling of Neiman Gracie.
Well, we grapple all his favorite positions, and we have grapplers that definitely are more higher level when it comes to wrestling and jiu-jitsu. So I said when I make my professional debut as far as fighting in the local scene, Neiman Gracie probably was just a blue belt, purple belt. So I have experience on my side. I fought plenty of black belts. So I know how to fight a black belt.
Thanks for the time, Jason. Good luck on Friday. Next up is Jack May. All right, we are now being joined by Jack May. Once again, we'll begin with a few questions from the media. Keith Schillen, your line is now live.
Hey, Jack, it's Keith Schillen for Sure. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm excellent. So first question I want to ask you is, we just talked to Tyrell and he says that you've been talking trash to him and this and that. Is it personal between you two?
Always two sides of every story, right?
Sure.
Oh yeah. There's been some back and forth on Instagram. For me, I don't make it personal, man. This is just business. So I'm here to do a job. But yeah, to get the fight, to hype the fight, to take it to that next level, a little shit talking never hurts.
Yeah, absolutely. We love that. So you guys fought. It was obviously very briefly, ended up becoming a no contest. Is there anything you can take away from that first fight?
I mean, it was 2.5, 3 minutes in the first round. A lot of people don't know, and not making excuses, but I didn't get much of all sparring leading up to that fight due to injuries. So as comfortable as I felt I'll be even more comfortable with my stand-up. And as far as on the floor with him on top of me or against the cage, we all saw what happened. He was doing his thing. He got his takedown. He was doing his thing, but then, I found my way back up. And then the Lobo happened.
You're fighting in a casino. If I wanted to make money and I'm in the casino, what do I bet? What's my bet on you?
I believe in myself, so you should believe.
I mean, if knockout first round, what's?
I think that I think he likes to. I think he's going to try and bait me in, and I'm just going to stay patient and stay long and work my game. And it's no secret, man. I know I possess power, and I know that if it's not one shot, then once I start chipping away and I land that big shot, I can turn your lights out.
Excellent. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Gunna.
Hi, Jack. How's it going?
I'm good. Yourself?
I'm doing okay. You've obviously fought in this bubble before against the same opponent, but then you fought on XMMA, and I understand that things are very, very different in Florida when it comes to the way that you have to quarantine before a fight and all that stuff. Is it difficult coming back into this environment where it's, I would imagine, a whole lot stricter?
Not at all. We knew what we were expecting coming back. And then, we just depend, different organizations, they just run things differently. As long as everybody's, staying safe and doing their part, then at the end of the day, we all get to fight and the show runs on. So it's not difficult. It wasn't difficult. I'm fine. Bellator puts on a hell of a show, and everybody in the organization, from check-in to everything, they make it easy.
Big television exposure for you this week as well. It's going to be on the first show on Showtime. You must be excited about that.
I am excited. Yes. Looking forward to it.
Do you think that a big performance for you raises your stock in the public eye and puts you? I mean, this guy's number 6 ranked in the division. I mean, it puts you right at that level of competition, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm here for a reason. If and when I win, then I take the 6th spot in the division.
Tony.
Hi, Jack.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. You?
Good.
Good. If the internet is to be believed, you turn 40 in 2 weeks' time. Is a win over Tyrell the biggest present that you could want for your 40th birthday?
Man, well, I don't see any other better present than waking up to my beautiful wife, my 2 beautiful little girls. But yeah, man, turning 40, and this is just an early birthday present for myself.
And how are you planning on spending your 40th birthday?
I'll be in Palm Springs.
Enjoy.
California, enjoying myself.
Yeah, well, happy early birthday, and thanks.
I appreciate it.
Dylan.
Hey there, Jack. How's it going?
Good. You?
I'm doing well, thanks. And yeah, just off the backdrop of some of the prior questions, you know, the rematch with Tyrell Fortune, a ranked heavyweight opponent, but your last fight being with ex-MMA there. I'm kind of curious, are you locked into some form of multi-fight deal with Bellator? Is this like a one-fight deal for the Fortune rematch? Can you kind of talk about that?
No, I mean, the pay is good. It's better than the first one with Fortune, and there's a 2-fight option.
Awesome. Thanks for the time, man.
Yep. Thank you.
Chris?
Hey, Jack, how's it going, man? Chris Mancuso, tarpsoftsports.com. I just wanted to say, after the last fight versus Fortune, he kind of insinuated, I think he said something, and I'm paraphrasing here along the lines of, he had taken nut shots before multiple times and continued. Do you take those comments and insinuating maybe that you should have continued fighting as motivation heading into the fight?
No, some of us have bigger nuts than others, is the way I look at it. But, you know, we all have our own look at things, and he's entitled to his own opinion. But, I mean, good for him, you know. But I did what I could, and, you know, afterwards, you know, 2 emergency room trips and piss and blood and not being able to function for over a month, you know. I mean, I know in my heart, I go to bed easy. My conscience is at ease with what happened.
Thanks, Jack.
No problem.
Harry? Harry, your line is live.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was muted. Hey, Jack, Harry Mack from the Bookie's Basement. I hope all is well.
You too.
So I just wanted to ask, do you feel any additional pressure stepping in for a guy with Matt Mitrione's resume?
No, I don't. This is an opportunity for myself. I know that Fortune's been preparing for Matt Mitrione. I'm friends with Matt. I know Matt. I've known Matt for a while. Whatever happened with him and his situation, I hope all is well. But he pulled out, and I'm going to capitalize.
All right, 1 or 2 more here. Simon?
Hey, Jack, Simon Romero behind the grind. I just want to know, what made you want to step into a fight against Tyrell once again on Friday night?
Why not? I don't see any big and scary.
Ronald? Ronald, go ahead.
Ronald Smith from the Getting Real. Jack May, how you doing, my brother?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Can't complain.
Awesome.
And man, game for you to step in to fight against Tyrell. At one point, did you ever even stop to think, should I do it? Or were you just like, give me the ball, I'm going to run with it?
Give me the ball and let's run with it. There was no.
And last question I got.
There was no hesitation.
For your career, when it's all said and done, because you care about your family, so look back at you when it's all said and done, gloves up for your career.
You know, you what you get out of it, what you put into it. And man, I came from growing up in a trailer park. God gave me talent, and I used it to better my family's life, and they never want or need anything. And at the end of the day, man, I'm just a true warrior that has always gone out and lived or died by the sword.
Last one here, Jack Wannon.
Hey, Jack, I have 2 questions for you. First, before you were even offered this fight, was a rematch against Fortune something that you wanted?
Absolutely. I think that's a fair shake.
And you mentioned that around the first time you faced him, you didn't get much time training before the fight. This time, even though it was a short notice call, were you able to prepare for this and get some sort of training in before?
Yeah, so I had just fought 2 months ago, and then since that fight, we've stayed active. So I'm not coming off the couch for this one.
All right. Thanks for the time, Jack, and good luck on Friday.
Thank you.
All right. We are now being joined by Neiman Gracie. Once again, we'll begin with a few questions from the media. Tony, your line is now live.
Hi, Neiman.
Hey, Tony, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Quick question. I noticed recently that you mentioned the Michael Venom Page fight falling out. What from your side of things, why didn't that fight come to fruition?
Man, I don't know. I could come here and talk a lot of shit about him, saying that he's scared, he don't want to take the fight, but I think it's because of the craziness that's going down in the UK with the COVID. And they told me, he said it's kind of hard for him to train and he couldn't get ready in time. And that's why it didn't happen.
And you're obviously taking on the ass-kicking machine, Jason Jackson. And last time out in his fight with Benson Henderson, he won a very tough fight. What do you make of that performance? And what do you make of your opponent, Jason?
Great performance against an ex-champ, I think it was a great fight. He fought very well. He did the perfect fight against Benson and was